Morning, guys. Oh, beautiful day at the farm today. Got ourselves a project. Not just any project, a very, very special project. So, the other day, we sent off to have these sent to us. What are these? These are sample vials for us to send samples of our apples to a very special person to get DNA tested. Now you might be wondering, why is it so important that we test the DNA of our apples? Well, it's because we have some really, really rare apples that are one-of-one varieties that we want to make sure they are either what they say they are, or we want to make sure that they aren't something else. And we're in our apple patch of grafted apples right here, and represented is 1,500 trees. Of those, each one of them, we have about 5 or 6, hopefully, of each variety. Some we have less, like this one we only have 3. And we're in a race against time because obviously, as you can see, fall is upon us. So we want to make sure we get these young baby leaves into the vials because we want to make sure that we give them the best chance of testing the DNA. As it gets colder, the leaves start to get brittle, they fall off and they drop because, well, last night was 38 degrees. And it's an absolutely beautiful day to be doing this. I'm so excited. This is like a dream come true out here to have 60-degree weather. It's quite breezy, but that is okay by me because it's a whole lot better than 80, 85 degrees, which is what it's been for the past week. Now, the thing you're probably asking is, why is it even important to test the DNA, and how do they actually test the DNA? So like I said, pond is looking wow, by the way. Oh my gosh, it's gorgeous. But so why do you want to test the DNA? It's so important that you test the DNA to make sure that it is what it is, or it isn't what you think it is. It's so important to do that because a lot of these apples already have names. There's 8,000 known varieties of apples, potentially even more than that are yet to be discovered. And when you have apples like these, many of these one-of-one varieties, they're a one-off seedling that was grown in someone's yard or in a windrow. And because apples are so unique when they grow from seed, a lot of times you do only have one of one. Many of them have not been documented. Many of them have not been tested. And so what we're doing is we're sending these off with the name that they were given. If they come back, like let's say this variety right here, this one's called Worthwhile. So the Worthwhile apple, is it actually a Worthwhile? Well, we're going to send it off as a Worthwhile. If it comes back as Granny Smith, well, then it's not a Worthwhile. If it comes back and it says it's a Worthwhile, then it's a Worthwhile. But if they don't have any DNA, DNA samples, because it's so rare, there's a good chance they won't have it in the system. Now they will have the Worthwhile apple in the system, and they'll know that because they don't have any DNA record of it. So it's a kind of a triple check. It's really helpful. Or how about this one? Yellow bellflower. Beautiful variety, by the way. Not quite one of one. There's a lot of those, but they are very beautiful. This one here. Like this one. It's Cowley, the Cowley apple. Again, not incredibly rare, but pretty rare in terms of apples because, you know, there might only be 5,000 or 6,000 trees, Cowley apple trees out in existence. It's a very old variety. I mean, there's so many of these ones. These are the summer banana, the ruby limber twig, rainbow. We have so many varieties. Now, not all of these are going to get DNA tested. We're going to test only the most rare. And that's because as the trees fruit, I can do a lot of identification myself using the reference guides that I have and the different books that I have. I can test the ruby limber twig. We have, in fact, one of the most, it's a copy of books of reference guides that have drawings, illustrations for over 5,000 apples. So I can reference using the descriptions, the sizing guide, flavor profile, seed size. I can do all that myself for a lot of these apples. So we're only going to test 120 of them, and they are the most rare, which is really exciting. Like forget-me-not. or the Mike Early Yellow. Some of these names, people run out of names. I didn't name it. Sometimes people just say, it's Mike's apple tree and it's early and it's yellow. There you go. And here in our orchard, we have over 1,200 different varieties of apples, all of which hold some type of cultural significance. It might be to a single person, might be to a small family, or maybe to a whole region. Apples have been grown and cultivated for thousands of years, and they are a crop that so many people have come to know and love. They all have unique names, and those stories are what we aim to protect and preserve. Because if the trees are gone, the stories are also gone with it. Now, where do you guys come in with this story? Well, a lot of you have actually sent apple samples to us. Many of you guys have sent apple samples to us in winter when the trees are dormant. You send little scion samples. We're able to graft those if they're kept cold and fresh in a sealed Ziploc baggie. We're able to graft them onto rootstocks to add to our preservation orchard. That's one way a lot of you have come in to this story. But then also a lot of you have emailed or called and said, I would like to know what this apple in my yard is, and how can I tell? Well, in some cases, you can identify an apple through the reference guides that are out there, like what we have. And there's a guy named John Bunker. He's like a superstar to me. John Bunker wrote a whole book about identifying apples, how to do it, all the different ways that he identifies apples. And John Bunker is actually someone that really inspired me to get into heirloom apples. And so he actually was the one that was talking about sending off samples for DNA testing with the Washington State University. Washington State University, there's a gentleman there named Cameron Peace, and Cameron Peace is the one that's going to be doing our DNA testing. And you can actually send off samples yourself to Washington State, and it does cost $50 for a basic test and $120 for a very in-depth test. But you're going to absolutely have the answers you're looking for, and you're going to know if it's a known tree, if it's a wild tree. It'll give you kind of the parentage of that, and it's a wonderful way to expand on the amazing biodiversity of apples. I got some help with me on the farm today. What's up? Hey. So do you want to tell them what we're doing?
All right, so we brought over our iPad, and it has our sheets, a Google Sheet document that we're going to be plugging all the information. It's like broken down into like the name of the sample, the source of the tree sample, cultivation evidence, cultivar name labeled, and the full test. So
yeah, we're not doing the full test. The full test is $120, but we're at least getting the parentage, so that's good. But yeah, well, basically, so we have to put what we think the name is, and then that on the vial, the little code, because the code tells us what we can reference. So those two are the most important rows, and then that kind of helps them because they actually save this information in their system too.
awesome.
So yeah, want to get started?
Yeah.
Let's go. So how this test works is we have to take 3 of the youngest leaves or 2 of these older leaves if they are not if they're not formed. So since we're later in the season, there are not a lot of new leaves here. So they want 2 of these bigger ones or 3 of the smaller ones that are just kind of openings. Like maybe that one would be kind of considered a new leaf there, but that gives them the best chance of sampling the DNA. And as you can see, look at this. Oh my gosh, how beautiful that tree is. What is this one? Forsythia. That's such a beautiful apple. Oh my gosh. It's incredible. Absolutely incredible. The color that turns in the fall. It's like a burning bush. Wow. Just a woman and her pumpkins. Give a woman a pile of pumpkins. That's all she needs. Forget diamonds. Pumpkins. And maybe like a chai latte. You know I'm not wrong. So pretty simple here. We just want to make sure we label the lid. So our code is AMIG, and then it's 0, well, starts at 001 and goes to 120 because we have 120 samples. So we're going to lay the lid. And then label the side there.
Number 99 or 66?
That is 99. How many more we have to go?
About 100. A little less than 100.
Making good
We have
progress.
25 now, so.
We found our roll finally. So Cindy's doing the vials. I'm putting the sample in the vial, and then she's logging. I'm just basically going down the row and she's logging. So it's a tedious process, but it's gonna be it's gonna be definitely worth it.
Mom.
You having fun?
Yes.
What do you got?
Car.
You got a car?
Yeah.
Dang, that looks like fun.
And that's a lot of toes. Toes. See toes?
Do I see tails? Not necessarily. I don't know what you're saying, but
That's.
show me.
Leaves.
Oh, tomatoes.
Yes.
Tomatoes. Yeah, those are tomatoes. You can eat one if you want.
Oh, no.
You want to eat one?
No.
Okay.
Okay, bye.
So collecting the samples is pretty easy. All we're going to do is just take either 3 of the youngest leaves, 2 of the next oldest leaves, or like 1 of the fully mature leaves, and put them in the vial. We don't want to crowd the vial out. So like on this one here, this is Jinsky's Garden here. And we're going to throw 1 of those leaves in there. And since we're so late in the season, we don't really have any really new leaves. We're going to do 2 of the newest leaves that are there. So like these leaves have unfurled here, and these are fully mature, and these are as big as they're going to get. So we'd only do 1 of these, but these leaves that are kind of newer here, they're slightly smaller, like this one. We do 2 of these, or 1 down here that's much bigger, if we didn't have those leaves to choose from. But then we put it in the vial and just shake it up, and it's good to go. How we doing?
Great. We are all done. Everything's been logged.
Let's go!
Woo.
Heck yeah. Nice. Now it's
Now we just gotta wait.
I'm gonna wait. So I could not have done it without you. I appreciate that so much for your help. That was quite a process. When did we start? It's like 11?
Around 12. Almost
No,
12.
It was definitely before 12.
Like 11:30.
Maybe 11:30.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I guess.
And
Either
it's
way.
what, a little bit past 2 now.
2:15.
But we also did have a toddler, so.
Not that bad. He was really well behaved.
Yes, he loves
That was quite a fun experience. So, yeah, I appreciate your help. I certainly would be bringing a sleeping bag out here if it was just me.
Mm-hmm.
So awesome! Thank you so much. So now we got to wait about 3 to 4 months to get the results. So we're going to end this video. We'll follow up when we get the results. So super windy and really chilly. Fall is in the air. But like I said, glad we did this now rather than a couple days from now, because if we got a frost, all these leaves would fall off and we'd have to wait until next year to do these tests. So anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed. Hope you all learned something new. As always, this is Luke
And Cindy.
from the MI Gardener channel, reminding you to grow bigger, and we'll talk to y'all later. See ya. Love y'all. Bye.